What socially expected thing do you hate doing the most? Having to say goodbye to everyone individually at a family or social gathering. I'm all about the Irish goodbye. Holding babies when people offer me them. I don't want to hold your potato. I'll probably break it. It's usually so awkward too. Most of the time the baby starts to cry and you have to do that, "Oh, it's okay, go back to mommy now," like 2 seconds later. Talking about myself in my resume, college application, interview, etc. Excessive socializing. My family and friends have given me crap for going straight to my room after going out or hanging out with them all day. It's like, didn't you have enough of me? I've definitely had enough of you. This is why I drifted away from my friends 6 years ago and found my wife. I also got tired of hanging out one-on-one, always turning into now we're here where everyone is, as usual. I didn't exactly grow out of them, I just couldn't deal with the constant group socialization on a daily basis, and more people started coming into the picture who I disliked, and they were also there, every freaking time. I used to do a bi-weekly dinner with friends, and when it started, there were 4 of us. A coworker gets invited, then the brother of a friend, another coworker and his wife, a boyfriend of one of the original girls. Now the group is far too big to reasonably accommodate at the place that we were going to. One girl fades out with her boyfriend and the group didn't want to shrink, so they have invited more people. Now we have another guy and his wife. People get offended when you can't make it. Some are tired of the usual place, mostly because it doesn't accommodate the large group very well. So now they want to switch it up, every time. This is where everything falls apart, and the original group has scattered, and I just want to have the bi-weekly dinners with my 3 friends again. Highly formal office clothes for 99% of people required to wear them. You sit at a desk all day and the only other people who see you are your coworkers. What function does that collar serve? Does it inhibit vertical neck movement, so you keep your head down and work? Are dress shoes required to make you move less so you stay in your seat and work more? Singing or being sung happy birthday. This has always embarrassed me so much. What are you supposed to do when they sing to you? Smile uncomfortably? Sing as well? Sit stone-faced plotting their deaths? Ugh, I dread it every birthday. Pretending to be happy and energetic when you're not, or everyone thinks you're a grump. I have no energy to match the level of social squirrels constantly talking and over-emoting about every little thing. This, so much this. There's this guy at my work that has all the energy in the world and he is always trying to joke around and mess with me. "Oh, you helped Bob today. Now I feel betrayed because you didn't help me out, ha 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 ha." It was funny the first time, but it's been 6 months and you're still saying the same joke and it's not funny anymore. Go away. He's been doing the same joke with my coworker for 10 years and she still giggles and plays along. Frick that. Ass kissing to get a job. It feels disgusting. Even ass kissing aside, just the whole bullcrap routine one has to go through to get a job. It's all such nonsense. You're expected to have a resume that has horse crap, nonsense words like facilitated, implemented, coordinated, streamlined, and at least 100 other horse crap nonsense words to make your past jobs sound way more important than they were. What's worse is that I know HR people know damned well that's all a bunch of BS, but it's expected anyway. Then, if you actually manage to get an interview, you're expected to put on a show about how you want to do something more than to exchange your services for money, and if you don't convince them of that, you remain jobless. That is especially aggravating for low-level jobs that no one would ever do if they had a choice, and if it didn't provide an income. I, like most people, have an aversion to starving to death and living outside. As such, when a company is advertising a job, that means they have a lack of labor and a surplus of money. I have a surplus of labor and a lack of money. Therefore, in exchange for filling their labor deficit, I will accept them filling my money deficit, or at least reducing it. Why can't it be that simple? My first job interview was at a grocery store. I was considered for a position in the fruits and vegetable department. When asked why I wanted to do this job, I was honest and said I thought it was time for me to make some money and gain some independence. I felt like it was a fair answer. The guy then told me never to mention money in an interview. What the hell am I supposed to say then? Since I was a kid, my passion was always stacking fricking cucumbers and bananas on shelves for 8 hours a day? Please. Hugging people you don't want to hug. Get some personal space up in this place. 1. Personal space. 2. Gotta have that personal space. 3. Stay out of my personal space. Pretending that I want to advance in any job I have. No, I don't care about becoming a manager or whatnot. I took this job because it's what I wanted to do. I'm not interested in being paid to think about how other people should work harder. Small talk when doing things like getting your hair cut. I just find it super awkward. I could care less about what holidays you're planning or your thoughts and opinions on what's going on around the world. If I could go to a silent hairdresser, I'd pay at least double for that. My normal hairdresser was on vacation last week, so I went to somebody new and we barely spoke the entire time. It was fantastic. At one point, I said, "Sorry, I'm not very talkative, I've just had a long day." And she said, "I'm actually so relieved you said that, and I don't really feel like talking either." And we went about our business of not talking. 10 out of 10, highly recommend it. This is probably only applicable to people who don't live alone, but having to entertain people who are not your friends when your family member or flatmate leaves the room to go to the toilet or make a drink or something, it's so painfully awkward. But less awkward than blanking them for a couple of minutes. Writing thank you notes. I honestly would rather give the gift back than write another stupid thank you note. I'm Southern. It's not just expected, it's required. You'll have your accent revoked if you do not comply. Looking at pictures of people's babies. It looks like every other baby. What am I meant to say? I was walking my rat terrier several years ago. He was white with black spots and a little bit of tan, and a woman approached me and commented on how much he looked like her pet cows. She then proceeded to show me a complete photo album of her cows. There were photos of her cows dressed up for every holiday, and I got to see every one of them. She didn't seem like there was anything wrong with her, just really loved her cows. Work? Can I just run away to the hills, please? Any hills will do. I just wanted to live in a stone hut with a bunch of animals when I was 9. I was told this was an unacceptable life goal. I am a woman and straight, so if that's not a flavor you go for, no hard feelings. Also, I was 9. I was thinking more hanging out in the woods with my animal friends than setting up a viable working farm that makes a profit. And specifically a stone hut because this was a dream that developed while on holiday in the Scottish Highlands. Lots of abandoned crofters' cottages, and I saw them and thought, yes, perfect. You know you could do this. I mean, you need some money to buy some land, then you need income to pay taxes on it, but you can get that by selling skins or growing some crop and selling it. But then if you want fresh food in the winter, you need to have more money, so you need to grow more crops. Plus, if you want to keep using Reddit, you need internet and electricity, and those you need to pay for too. And then you really need a significant income. And you'll want some people to help out growing the crops, so you're not just working day and night, but you need to pay their wages with more crops, and holy crap, you're just running your own farm now. The whole, "Hello, how are you? Good, how are you? Good," routine. For most people, I don't care how you are, and you don't care how I am. Skip it. I don't know if this is a female thing, but there's a pressure to be really enthusiastic around kids. I don't like or dislike children, but I don't like being expected to behave like a kindergarten teacher every time I meet one. This whole over-the-top, bubbly, annoying thing that most women do with kids just exhausts me. I know that it's genuine for some women, but for many, it's a weird competition to see who can be the most motherly or nurturing. It can be pretty creepy sometimes. Late to the party, but I'm a mother and I also hate this crap. I love my kid to death and love being a mother to her, but I have 9 nieces and nephews and they're cute. But I'm not interested in spending my time entertaining them. Some women just don't love kids. I think the whole loving kids thing is an interesting concept. To me, children are all individuals who have their own little personalities, and I feel like people who say things like they love kids treat them like toys. I like playing and interacting with them, but there's a fine line for me. I work for a place where sometimes women bring their children in, and every time my coworker will run up, drop everything, pick the kids up, and put on this whole show about how excited she is to see them. This is fine, but if the mother is in the office for like an hour, this girl will do this whole baby talking thing the entire time. What annoys me is that she's only like this to kids she likes. She'll call other kids weird behind their backs if they don't love her. It's hilarious to see her get rejected by some kids. I don't like invading children's space. If a kid wants to give me a hug, they can, but I won't ask for it or hold them if they don't want me to. It's so much more rewarding when a kid gives you a hug out of the blue because they want to. I'll play with them and keep them safe, but this isn't a daycare. Being polite to everyone and the customer is always right bullcrap. I work with bikes. They are the same as cars in terms of the size of the part is the size of the part. Just because you don't like the answer doesn't mean it's wrong. I had to politely argue with a guy today over how the bikes get longer and taller as they go up in size. He was adamant that this bike, which I ride and sell, does not grow in wheelbase because the small, his size, and the large, the one he was ordering. I'm a polite guy, and I just phrase it as we want you to get the bike that fits you so that you can enjoy the sport whilst being comfy and confident. He was trying to order a bike that would not fit him. This is akin to a guy wanting a Porsche track car ordering a JCB. He ordered the bike and it got built. Didn't fit, returned it, and wasted everyone's time. Wish I could just say, you are wrong. I used to work for a GameStop. An old lady comes in and asks for Mario for the Xbox. 20-minute argument about Mario being on the Xbox because her grandson told her and he's very smart. I just wanted to be, listen lady, you're so old that your version of video games is rubbing your eyes a lot and seeing spots. Leave the gaming to me. I ended up telling her that we don't carry it and she should try Walmart. Going to boring social gatherings. Any sort of shower-style event, baby shower or bridal shower, can I just give you a present? Why do we have to play stupid games and then I have to watch you open all your gifts while your grandma breathes on me? How about no gift? Seriously, how much stuff does one need to get just to be married? They get a gift for the bridal shower, gift for the wedding, gift for the bachelorette, and just straight up cash grab at the stag and dough. One wedding, one gift, or envelope of cash, and please don't blow it all on the party. Save it for a down payment or something that will last longer than 6 hours. Celebrating my birthday. I can't stand being the center of attention. It just causes me more anxiety to make plans and wait for people to show up than anything else. For like 10 years now, I've just done a thing where I go to a Japanese steakhouse, my favorite type of restaurant, with my close family for my birthday. Nobody sings or anything. We just go out, enjoy some chicken and steak, and that's it. It's really low-key and nice. Tipping. People should be paid a fair wage, not a minimum wage. Tipping in coffee shops, like why? You're making my drink and then I leave. It's not a continuous service. Honestly, I think that the people in positions that are getting paid above minimum wage that expect tips are ruining it for people like waiters who make $2.13 an hour and actively rely on tips to make ends meet. If people weren't expected to tip everywhere they go, they wouldn't have as much of a problem tipping their waiter. But seriously, frick those people that go out to eat and make their waiter run their ass off complaining about the drink because this Dr. Pepper tastes funny. Get me a sweet tea instead. Or every time you go by their table, they need something else, and then they don't leave a tip. Waiters have other tables they have to take care of too, and if you weren't planning on tipping from the start, don't ruin your waiter's day by lowering the quality of service they can provide their tipping customers. I hated waiting tables. Can you tell? And yes, 99% of my hate for waiting tables was having to kiss my customer's ass for them to think they did a good thing when they left me that $3 tip after I just ran my ass off for an hour, making sure you had everything you needed for an enjoyable lunch. So I'm not spreading misinformation. Servers in the US are actually paid $2.13 an hour plus tips, meaning the restaurant pays them $2.13 per hour, if that, and their tips equal out to minimum wage or more over a 2-week pay period. If they have a crappy couple of weeks and don't make at least minimum wage with $2.13 an hour plus tips, the restaurant is required to make up the difference so that the server at least makes minimum wage. Small talk. Phone calls. I can answer the phone just fine. I can dial into conference bridges just fine. I can retrieve voicemail just fine. But dialing someone individually? Wow. If I have to make a phone call, I procrastinate like you would not believe. Just let me go to the toilet, get another cup of coffee, check my pension balance, and finish reading this article about Aardvark racing. Buying holiday gifts for coworkers. At my company, it is expected that everyone gets a little gift for everybody in the office. Individually, the gifts aren't that expensive, but when buying for several people, it adds up quickly. I resent that I have to spend money on people I don't really care about that much. Secret Santa? Bingo. My friends used to do the buy a $20 to $25 gift for each person around Christmas, but wow did that add up. We settled for a Secret Santa gift or gifts that amounted to around $50, but just for one person. So much better. It's cheaper and you don't have to go shopping for tons of different people. Having to come up with a reason for not doing something as opposed to just saying I don't want to. One of my friends once told us, I'm not feeling social today. My other friends and I laughed about it at the time, but in retrospect, damn, more people should say that. Waking up in the morning. I don't get it. Seems like everyone hates it except the 3% of the population that gets to decide that rule. My body tells me it wants to be up at night and sleep in the morning. I will risk all the worms. I will never be the early bird. I was actually diagnosed with something called delayed sleep phase disorder. For as long as I remember, I just can't get tired before 3 or 4 a.m. Drugs helped temporarily, light/dark therapy didn't do anything. So what I did was get a fully remote job with a group in California while living on the East Coast. They don't start moving until 10 a.m. So my go time is now 1 p.m. I can't tell you how much my life improved after this, but when I tried to force it, I just had constant mental lag. Some people are just not morning people, period. I feel ya. If I sleep in one solid chunk overnight, I need 9 hours of sleep to barely make it through the day. I've been chronically tired without any real cause for years. Then I learned about biphasic/polyphasic sleeping, 2 to 4 hour naps for example, and now I have way more energy. It's not an option for most schedules, but I just started a new job where I work 6 a.m. to 2:30, then go home and have my first sleep, go do Lyft for a few hours, then back home for a second sleep and repeat. The change is amazing after 10 plus years of feeling like a zombie. Stupid icebreaker activities at seminars or events. No, I don't want to do a stupid dance to get the blood flowing. I'm here to learn something and get crap done, not make friends. Get on with the damn program. Going to family gatherings for a wide array of occasions, including anniversaries, birthdays, graduations, reunions, confirmations, etc. Those can be long days of tedious small talk with not much in common to discuss other than that we're related. Especially with family you barely know and don't really talk to outside of these gatherings. It's the worst. Always ask the same questions. How's school/work? Are you dating anyone? I don't want to tell them about my life and personal stuff. It's none of their business. I'm not telling you anything I wouldn't tell a stranger because that's what you are to me. Being in a relationship. Maybe I just don't want to be in one right now. I wish people would just respect that. I prefer the thrill of the chase and the young love. Eventually, it just gets boring and you want your life back. So many young couples in particular have to do every little thing together and cannot function independently. Part of why I think it's a good idea for young couples to spend some time being long distance, so they learn how to be in a relationship while also being independent. It's hard, but if you want it to work, you'll make it work. Having a wedding when you get married. I suppose if you want to, but the truth is to me, they are meaningless, stressful wastes of money. Hair and makeup. I've legit stopped giving a rat's ass, but I often think people assume I'm lazy and don't give a crap if my skin's a bit blotchy or my hair's a bit frizzy. I don't want to waste half an hour at the mirror, Barbara. And it's not just the application. You've also got to spend another half an hour removing the makeup and combing your hair to avoid it getting knotted from the hairstyle you did. Really a waste of time for an everyday thing. Being social. I'm basically a hermit outside of going to work 9 to 6 Monday through Friday. Responding to relatives or elders when they ask how school is going. Seeing relatives I don't like and having to get along with them, especially when everyone agrees they're an asshole. Yet I'm in the wrong for wanting to have nothing to do with them despite everyone hating having to interact with them. Sometimes I just don't feel like flirting with girls, building up the courage, going through with it and trying to keep a conversation alive. It's like being forced to walk a flaming tightrope when after a long week of work, all I want to do is get wasted with my friends and go to sleep. I hear you, and other times your chemistry is so good that it feels effortless. I can tell you people who have been hurt a lot aren't generally as open to new relationships. They tend to be more careful before opening up. I hate saying bye at social events. It takes so much time, and there's always someone questioning why you're leaving. I usually just dip out and text everyone after. Having to change who you are to get a job. I feel like I'm killing part of myself when I have to brown nose the people who interviewed me just to get the job. Trust me, I'll make your business better. Just let me do the job. But there is a perfect Patty with her nose lodged in someone's Tootsie factory who is half the worker I am, and she gets the job. Kissing women on the cheeks when I meet them. Just shake my hand, Sharon. I've never done this, and don't believe I've ever seen it done. Is it really the norm? I'm Hispanic/Latin, and it's normal for us to greet people like that. We grew up doing it, so it isn't creepy or weird. My grandma used to say people started doing it when they realized people's hands are dirty and it's a risk no one wants to take. As in, perhaps the person you are greeting didn't wash their hands after using the washroom, or they're sick and coughed and sneezed on them without washing or sanitizing. Also, it's not really a kiss on the cheek. It's just like a gentle hug where you almost give a kiss, but it never happens. It's always someone white, as an American or Canadian who didn't know, who gives an actual kiss. That's when it gets uncomfortable because now you're left with a wet spot on your face by a stranger. LOL. Getting photographed. No, I don't want you randomly snapping pictures of me mid-sentence when I look stupid. No, I don't want to pose for you either. Shoving a freaking camera in my face when I mind my own business is rude and intrusive. Then when I ask for you to stop, it seems to be a license to hound me with, "Oh, I'm gonna get you," simply because you can. Frick my comfort, eh? It's now your personal challenge to follow me around and take photos because you know I don't like it. Short of punching you in the face, which of course I'm not going to do, I only have the option of appealing to your good graces to leave me the hell alone, and it appears good graces are in short supply. It baffles me why people can't go with, "Oh, that bothers you? Sorry, I'll leave you be." caring about my coworkers' lives. Networking. I just hate the surface evaluation of other people. It could not make a difference to me whether you sweep floors or head an advertising company. At the end of the day, everyone is a person. In fact, I feel like the more accomplished someone is, the more likely they are to be a selfish person. Having to remember everyone's birthday. Unless you're my fiance or my dog, I don't give a crap. Or if you're like 96, because that's impressive. Going to weddings. Telling people good morning. Look, I just got to work. More than likely, I don't want to be here. Just leave me alone for at least 20 to 30 minutes. Drinking. I used to be a heavy equipment operator, and I was basically shamed for not getting wasted with the bosses when working in camp. No raises, no advancement, no nothing because I don't enjoy boozing. I did gain some credit when they found out I smoked pot. However, still, the reality was that even though I was a faster, cleaner, and more efficient operator than most, I wasn't going to advance with the company unless I took up alcoholism and ass-kissism. To hell with that. I hate when people treat me to stuff. Like, don't worry, I'll pay for your coffee, from a coworker. I feel like to be graceful about it, you're supposed to refuse first. Then they insist. Then you accept, and act surprised at their generosity. I never feel like I show my appreciation enough, and I wish you could just accept it and say thanks without having to deal with all the pageantry. Making phone calls. I hate calling people on the phone. I'm fine talking in person, I'm fine texting or emailing. Please don't make me call you. I find it stupidly awkward. It's apparently socially expected that if you're in a serious relationship at a young age, you won't last, or expected that you get more life experience. Except I'm happy where I am right now. I've been happy for years. I'm sorry you've gone through 2 husbands, Karen. I'm just going to enjoy my 4-year stable relationship over here, despite my young age. Holding in farts. I just want to let it go. Blessing someone after they sneeze. I think it's kind of rude to assume that someone wanted to be blessed. I don't do it. If anything, the sneezer should say excuse me, like we do with other functions. Especially with how loudly and obnoxiously people sneeze. Some people straight up scream, and I'm supposed to bless you for scaring the crap out of everyone in the room? You don't bless someone for burping. Ever have dinner with someone and someone lets out some death metal growl of a burp? You don't bless them, do you? My uncle used to be a real stickler about this. He'd let out this monstrosity of a sneeze and look at me like I was the rude one and ask, have anything to say? Do you have anything to say? You nearly just gave me a heart attack and I'm supposed to bless you for it? You sneeze, you say excuse me. People expect me to say hi to them, even if I see them 3 or 4 times a week. I get it, we know each other. I don't need to know how you're doing 4 times a week. I don't care. You have to give people cards every time you give them a present. I just don't understand. No one likes cards, and they get thrown away anyway. Please stop expecting me to get people stupid pieces of cardboard with words that I didn't even write on them. As much as people hate me for this, the Pledge of Allegiance in America. As a kid, I felt like a Hitler Youth being forced to do it every day, at the same time without explanation as to why. Keeping eye contact when speaking to someone. Talking to random people on the street who talk to me. I look very approachable. I'm a tiny woman and have a very sincere-looking face. If someone is even slightly inclined to talk to strangers, they tend to talk to me. If I don't answer, people start getting violently angry and shouting and asking me if I think I'm too good for them. No, I just have no idea what to say because I don't know you, random person. Both women and men do this to me. It's not really hitting on me. I don't know how to explain it other than saying it's more like the whole world thinks I'm some long-lost little sister. I apparently look like someone everyone urgently needs to talk to. I moved to the city partially because I expected people not to talk to me here. Drinking alcohol. I'm so sick of everyone questioning my motives as to why I'm not drinking or saying I'm weird and then keep offering me drinks over and over again. Apparently, I don't like alcohol very much or I don't enjoy getting wasted are not acceptable answers. Going to church just because everyone else was going to be there and they're going to hassle you about why you weren't. Having to always act like a stoic man and never showing my feelings. Choosing a career by the time you're out of high school. Being expected to be social. Being the big spoon. You know what? Maybe a dude likes a cuddle every now and then. Remembering people's names. Returning phone calls. When someone is talking and accidentally gets some saliva on you and you have to sit there and continue to listen to the story while their spit sits on your face because you don't want to be rude and call them out on their mouth sprays. Thanks for watching until the end. If you have an example you'd like to give, please do so in the comments below. We'd love to read it. Then be sure to like this video, subscribe if you haven't, and hit that notification bell so that you know when our next video is available. For more videos like this one right now, please stop by our channel. Thanks again, and see you next time.